canal that Manchester's gay village was built around was constructed in 1804. Over 200 years later, the canal is still regarded as one of the most iconic and easily recognisable spots in Greater Manchester. Manchester has experienced a lot in relation to queer life in the past 200 years, as has most of the world. This is how Manchester's Canal Street has changed and developed over decades of LGBTQ+ people fighting for their space in the city, including the first Manchester-based Pride Parade in 1985. The Manchester City Council offered a grant of £1,700 for Manchester's first Pride Parade to be hosted. It took place down Oxford Road, not far from where the gay village now resides. Today, and for decades, Canal Street is the most major part of Manchester's gay village. One of the most famous original bars on Canal Street, as it began to develop into the gay village that we know today, is the New Union Bar. The bar was built in 1865 and over the years has continued to thrive as a queer safe space in Manchester. The venue has frosted windows and has done for a long time. This is not uncommon for bars on Canal Street. Many venues in Manchester's gay village have frosted or otherwise one-way or blacked out windows for the purpose of privacy, discretion and customer safety. Particularly in the 1960s, this level of non-disclosure was incredibly important in preserving the space as a safe venue for LGBTQ+ individuals in Manchester. In 1967, the Sexual Offences Act was passed in England and Wales, somewhat decriminalising sexual activity between gay people. While this was a huge step forward in gay rights in England and Wales, the 1967 Act still had major issues that lie beneath the surface. The Act only applied to gay men, leaving queer women excluded from the progression in rights that was starting to occur. Additionally, the Act left a major gap between rights to sexual activity between same-sex couples and heterosexual couples, with the age of consent for gay men being 21 but only 16 for people of opposite genders. The Act also explicitly stated that sexual behaviour between two men was only decriminalised in private. This is where major issues arose in Manchester's Canal Street. The frosted windows of the New Union Bar kept gay customers inside safe from being seen by potentially homophobic passersby, but they did not stop homophobically motivated police raids from happening in the premises. These raids took place in an attempt to catch queer people engaging in activity in the public space of the bar that could be argued to be a preamble for sexual activity. This included basic things such as two women or two men dancing together. Alongside the New Union, the Rembrandt Hotel also faced a large amount of these police raids following the 1967 Sexual Offences Act. In 1999, the first episode of a TV show named Queer as Folk aired in the UK. After years of a relative calm after the storm, once queer life in Manchester started to become more accepted, Queer as Folk came into the picture and made a huge impact on LGBTQ+ life in Manchester, for better or for worse. In the show, many different queer characters are depicted: gay men, lesbian women and bisexual people, but it is possible that the show did more harm than good in its impact on the image of Canal Street and queer people who occupy the space in real life. Despite the first episode of Queer as Folk airing 32 years since the Sexual Offences Act that entirely excluded lesbians and bisexual women was passed, Queer as Folk managed to continue to perpetuate homophobia towards queer women, while simultaneously claiming to be a progressive and queer-positive show. The protagonists continuously make bigoted comments both about and directly towards gay women in the show.
Right, Nathan, let's go. It's all getting a bit lesbian in here.
The show also perpetuates homophobic stereotypes. In the first episode, the main character of Queer as Folk, Stuart, played by Aidan Gillen, is shown having sex with Nathan, played by Charlie Hunnam, an underage boy, aged 15. Stuart goes ahead with this sexual relationship with Nathan, despite Stuart being 29 years old and fully aware that Nathan is underage. This provided homophobic people in Manchester with a way to accuse queer people of being predatory and dangerous. The show brought attention to Canal Street, which at first seemed to be a positive thing, but it increased the volume of heterosexual and cisgender people going out on Canal Street. While allyship is great and sharing a space with people of different identities is positive, it made Canal Street start to feel like less of a safe space for gay people. Today, walking around Manchester's gay village, Canal Street is populated by drag queens. Most of the bars on Canal Street have drag acts on in the evenings, and many famous drag queens such as Danny Beard and Cheddar Gorgeous have come from Manchester, starting their careers performing on Canal Street. Manchester's Canal Street is regarded as one of the UK's most major gay districts. With the sense of community that's formed and developed over the years in Canal Street, Manchester's gay village has started to feel safe once again. Every year, so many drag queens start their careers in Canal Street. The area is safe and provides people with opportunities that they wouldn't have otherwise, which is why Manchester's Canal Street is an incredible place. The winner of RuPaul's Drag Race UK 2022 is Danny Beard, who started their career in Manchester's gay village. They performed in bars on Canal Street numerous times at the beginning of their career and still does occasionally. This shows the impact that Manchester's gay village and Canal Street in particular can have on a person's life. Manchester's Canal Street is so significant and should be preserved.